Get out of your own way. Let's be honest for a moment. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they get in their own way. Not intentionally, not because they don't want to succeed, but because they've been operating from habits, beliefs, and protections that once kept them safe, but now keep them stuck. And growth requires honesty about that. A lot of the resistance we experience isn't external, it's internal. It looks like overthinking instead of executing, perfectionism disguised as standards, waiting until everything feels aligned before moving forward. But clarity doesn't come before action. Clarity comes from action. When you wait to feel ready, you often end up waiting indefinitely. Getting out of your own way starts with recognizing when self-protection has turned into self-sabotage. At some point, caution stops being wisdom. At some point, preparation turns into delay. At some point, being realistic becomes a way to avoid risk. And the question becomes, is this decision rooted in discernment or in fear? Many high-potential people are not blocked by lack of ability. They're blocked by internal negotiation. They talk themselves out of opportunities before anyone else can. They minimize their vision so it feels more manageable. They choose familiarity over growth because familiarity feels safer. But safety and success are not the same thing. One of the most common ways we get in our own way is through identity attachment. We become attached to who we've been, the dependable one, the low-maintenance one, the one who doesn't ask for much, the one who figures things out quietly. And then we're surprised when expansion feels uncomfortable. But success requires new behavior. New behavior requires new identity. And new identity requires letting go of versions of ourselves that no longer fit. That is not loss. That is evolution. Another way we block ourselves is by outsourcing trust. We wait for validation. We look for permission. We need reassurance before we commit. But the truth is, no one else can confirm your readiness. They can only respond to your decision. Momentum comes after commitment, not before it. Getting out of your own way also means accepting that discomfort is part of growth. There is no version of success that doesn't involve being seen before you feel polished, making decisions without full certainty, outgrowing people, roles, or environments. If you're waiting for a version of growth that feels calm, predictable, and fully supported, you may be waiting forever. Growth is often quiet, lonely, and deeply clarifying. This isn't about forcing confidence. It's about practicing courage. Courage looks like taking the step even when your voice shakes, submitting the application even if doubt is present, saying yes before you feel fully prepared, not because you're reckless, but because you trust your ability to adapt. At some point, success requires a decision to stop negotiating with fear, a decision to stop shrinking to stay comfortable, a decision to stop treating your potential like a liability instead of an asset. The most powerful shift you can make is this: stop asking if you're capable and start acting like someone who is. Because when you get out of your own way, execution replaces overthinking. Clarity replaces hesitation. Alignment replaces approval seeking. And you begin to move with intention instead of resistance. So the question isn't, what's blocking me? The question is, what am I holding on to that I've already outgrown? And once you answer that, your next move becomes very clear.